Imagine missing out on Bitcoin when it was under $1. Would you make that mistake again? Well, history might just be repeating itself. This time with Pi Coin. Today we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in the tap-to-earn space, Pi Coin, and what could happen when it finally lands on Binance. All the latest market data, social sentiment, and historical token listings have been fed into an AI model, and what it's predicting for Pi Coin might shock you. As Bitcoin pushes past $110,000, the altcoin season is already warming up, and tokens like Pi are perfectly positioned for a potential breakout. And on Bitcoin Pizza Day, when 10,000 BTC bought just 2 pizzas, we're reminded that hodling early can lead to life-changing gains. So what does that mean for Pi? Currently, Pi Coin is trading at approximately 83 cents, slightly below its recent peak of 86 cents. This small dip has prompted some investors to take profits, capitalizing on the coin's recent upward momentum. However, many insiders and long-term holders are choosing to hold onto their Pi coins despite the minor pullback. Their decision to stay invested reflects strong confidence in the project's long-term potential and the belief that this recent high may be just the beginning. These committed holders are likely anticipating further developments or catalysts that could drive the price even higher in the near future. The launch of Pi Network Ventures marks a monumental milestone for the Pi community and the broader crypto space. This development signals that Pi is evolving far beyond being just another digital coin. It is rapidly transforming into a full-fledged ecosystem with real-world utility, partnerships, and growth potential. Pi Network Ventures opens the door to strategic investments, entrepreneurial initiatives, and project funding within the Pi ecosystem, further solidifying its infrastructure and use cases. This progression underscores the team's vision of creating a decentralized digital economy that empowers everyday users. Moreover, the anticipation surrounding Pi's official listing on a major cryptocurrency exchange like Binance is building serious momentum. Such a listing would not only validate the project's legitimacy but also expose Pi to a global audience of investors, traders, and institutions. The increased liquidity and market accessibility that comes with a Binance listing could ignite a surge in demand, potentially triggering a major price breakout. In short, with Pi Network Ventures gaining traction and a possible exchange listing on the horizon, the project is on the verge of a significant breakthrough, and we could very well witness fireworks when it all comes together. Based on AI-driven market analysis, several potential scenarios could unfold following Pi Coin's official listing on major exchanges. Immediate spike. In the short term, we could witness a significant price surge, potentially pushing Pi's value into the $3 to $5 range. This bullish momentum would likely be fueled by several key factors. First, over 30 million users have already mined Pi and are eagerly waiting to trade or cash in their holdings, creating a massive wave of immediate market activity. Second, the delayed nature of Pi's listing has created a supply shock, as tokens haven't been widely available on traditional exchanges. This pent-up demand could drive prices sharply higher. Finally, once Pi begins making headlines across mainstream media, a strong wave of FOMO, fear of missing out, could further amplify buying pressure and push prices to new highs. Correction phase. However, like many coins that experience explosive launches, Pi may not be able to sustain its initial highs. A post-hype correction is a common pattern in the crypto market. A good example is TrumpCoin, which skyrocketed from around $38 to $75 shortly after launch, only to settle back down once the excitement cooled. Pi could follow a similar trajectory, experiencing a pullback as early investors take profits and speculative interest tapers off. Stabilization. In the medium term, after the initial volatility subsides, Pi is expected to find a more stable price range. Analysts predict it could consolidate between $1.50 and $2.50 as the market adjusts to real demand, adoption rates, and the overall maturity of the Pi ecosystem. This phase would reflect more organic growth, driven by utility, community strength, and actual use cases rather than just hype. Let's be honest, volatility is inevitable. As with any new and highly anticipated crypto listing, dramatic price swings are almost guaranteed. If you're planning to jump into Pi Coin with the intention of making a quick profit, there's certainly a chance you could catch the right wave and walk away with a decent return. However, The flip side is just as likely. You could find yourself buying in at a temporary peak and taking a hit when the price dips sharply during the correction phase. Quick trades in such a volatile environment come with high risk, and timing the market perfectly is easier said than done. But for those with a long-term vision, PiCoin presents a different kind of opportunity, one that could turn into a defining "I was early" moment. Just like early adopters of Bitcoin or Ethereum who believed in the project before it went mainstream, long-term holders of Pi may benefit significantly if the ecosystem continues to expand and gains real-world adoption. The true value of Pi isn't just in its price movement at launch, but in the utility it builds, the community that supports it, and the innovations it introduces. Patience and belief in the bigger picture could be what sets the winners apart in the long run. So, what should you do as PiCoin approaches its long-anticipated listing? The key is to stay grounded and make smart, strategic decisions, especially in an environment that will likely be driven by hype, speculation, and rapid price movements. First and foremost, don't fall into the FOMO trap. It's easy to get swept up in the excitement, but impulsive buys during a surge can be risky. Instead, take a step back and observe how the market behaves during the first 24 to 72 hours after listing. This period is crucial. It will reveal the true demand, how traders are reacting, and whether the price is likely to stabilize or continue swinging wildly. Next, have a plan in place before the hype hits. If you're considering selling, set your target prices ahead of time and stick to them. Don't wait until emotions take over and the market becomes unpredictable. Pre-setting your sell points helps avoid panic decisions and ensures you're acting based on strategy, not impulse. And if you're a Pi miner, this is your moment. You've been patiently mining and supporting the network, and now the potential for real rewards is within reach. Holding your Pi assets through the early volatility might give you a better opportunity to benefit from future growth, partnerships, or rising utility within the ecosystem. This is what you've been building toward, so consider your next steps carefully and thoughtfully. Whether you're a pioneer miner or a new investor just getting into the space, this AI-based prediction is something you should definitely keep on your radar. It offers insight into what may happen as PiCoin enters the open market and helps you stay ahead of the curve. If you have your own thoughts on where PiCoin might be headed, drop your price prediction in the comments. I make sure to read every single one. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to hit that like button to show your support. And for real-time updates on Pi, Bitcoin, and everything happening in the altcoin world, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat.